9:57 a.m. It's July 29, 2024. This is just greater context regarding what it is that I've already established as a matter of evidence. And I just want you to see the demons who are on the record who are going to federal prison. They're engaging in an ongoing conspiracy to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen, and doing so maliciously, which in the U.S. consists of going to your job, consists of a hotel stay where you can engage in criminal presence, and while you engage in demonic methods of keeping an American citizen under surveillance while you are a demon-possessed individual comprising what is an entity, a demon-possessed entity that is engaged in group stalking, which is also readily identifiable because that which is not the sun is over this hotel. And so what you're looking at right now is evidence of what is pacing. And the demons that you see in this hallway, this is room 415, where the woman in the pink is going in. These demons are engaging in this right here, which I'm going to show you again. What the demons want to do is pace back and forth. This is me, okay? These are demons. What the demon, well, actually one demon. This is what Satan wants to do. This is what a demon, this is very psychotic. This is what Satan wants to do to me while a fake sun remains over my head all day long. So this is where the fake sun is. This is what Satan wants to do under the fake sun, pace back and forth, which is psychotic. This is the mental illness that Satan doesn't want you to know is their condition, while they also don't want you to know that they're stalking you. The demon possessed, as opposed to one stalker, which would be impossible, and it would also be very obvious. Group stalking is malicious. And in America, it's occurring amongst what needs to necessarily appear as free society, so that the targeted individual who is subject to what is an ongoing conspiracy by demons to torment, which they're intending to sacrifice you, take your life, your physical life, or take your life with regard to your freedom, any hopes and dreams that you have, any aspirations, with regard to your self-worth and value. This is what Satan is after with regard to the essence of a person. But I just want to be clear back to the actual conduct. This is what a demon does, a psychopath. It's called pacing. This is called crossing path. As you go this way, you're crossing my path. As you go this way, you're crossing my path. As you go this way in alignment, you're staying in alignment. You're maintaining presence in the path. This is called group stalking, though. This is all what group stalking is. You're crossing the path. Remember, it's significant that the engineer light is all over the place. The engineer light is all over my person. The fake sun is over me all day long while crossing a path is underway. That's occurring through traffic. It's occurring through the use of planes and helicopters. It's occurring in the hotel when people are pacing like you see here. I want to let you know what their demons are aware of that I'm documenting as they begin pacing. So this is what I'm capturing. First of all, this is the intersection of Myrtle and Huntington outside of my hotel room window. I'm on the 4th floor. The entity is indeed group stalking by maintaining presence at traffic lights. Not only are the traffic lights a method of light activity, the traffic lights are in sync literally with what I do as I do it. When the vehicles are sitting still, as opposed to when the vehicles begin movement, it's a method of stalking with activity. The demon possessed are a very closely calculated demonic system, maintaining elements of monitoring. And also, these are the demons where engineer lights just shooting all over the place all day long. They're all monitoring. Okay, this is rampant demonic activity as it's underway maliciously as traffic to the untrained eye. They're under a fake sun and among engineered light. Not only that, you can literally see the fake sun as I capture vehicles. You can see the reflection of the light source on the side of this vehicle. Notably, you can see it on the windshield of this vehicle here that's parked at the intersection of Myrtle Avenue and Huntington at 9:53 in the morning. Remember, I've already captured video. But let me be clear, the demons that know what I'm stating and begin beating on walls, the demons that know what I'm documenting on my phone, begin pacing back and forth. And this is what I'm capturing in the hallway. The demons that know when I'm waking up, know when my legs are open and my genitalia is exposed, and engage in the demonic, such as the ability to engage in the elements with simultaneity to what I'm doing inside of a hotel room when I'm physically by myself, including when I'm on a cell phone on the internet. That's understanding what is demonic activity and what the demon possessed know while they engage in the elements, which is how you prosecute the stalker. That's how you prosecute and unveil the secret covert sex offender. That's how you recognize the mentally ill psychopath. And that's prosecution for terrorism, because they're a population of that. That is group stalking you, intending to murder and or permanently kidnap you while they target you in a specific environment. And the specific environment is what I captured at 9:53 at this intersection. The fake sun is seen as you can look at the vehicles that are crossing path at Myrtle. This is going to be created from the sun. And again, this is ignorantly put. Of course, it's not the sun, because more evidence shows that this light source that would create this sort of presence of the reflection of light on the vehicles is still present at what is 6 and 7 in the evening at the same intersection. And the demons that are stalking in the yes, in the helicopter, they're doing so under the same environment. But I meant to say the demons that are stalking by maintaining a hotel stay, by working at the hotel, they are also engaging in the elements of monitoring, which is harassment. It's also uncharacteristic of what your conduct would be in a hotel and what it should be in a hotel. This is not some, for example, a Days Inn in downtown San Bernardino. Okay, this is supposed to be an intermediate level, which is the TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott. In Monrovia, California, okay? Not the worst area at all, and they're charging enough money, and it's uncharacteristic with regard to the behavior. And this is just pointing out the common sense aspect. I want to be clear, I'm going to prosecute you based on the P.O.C., period. But it even defies common sense, the behavior of the demon-possessed, and the environment that's maintained when you're group stalking. That's why it's always disruptive, and it's uncharacteristic. In the libraries, the entity's maintaining a noisy environment. That's not characteristic of how the environment in the library is supposed to be, but they're group stalking you. And it's a noisy library where the fake sun is over that library all day long. Okay, that's the P.O.C. The entity is doing the same thing where, I mean, even if it was a lower grade motel, for example, but this is not that, and you have people that are spending money to group stalk me, and the fact that you go to that extent, that's relevant. And the fact that you are posing an impermissible threat, acting with impunity, you know that I just got through documenting, you know every word about what I documented. You also know about the evidence as I captured on the phone, and the terrorist that acts with such impunity, that's the terrorist that's begging for longer time in federal prison. Okay, that's the personality defect. That's the pattern of the behavior by the demon possessed, by the way. So this is understanding what's the default prosecution. Those who are going to federal prison, they're going for a long time because they have already demonstrated through their pattern of conduct, they don't learn. They do not learn. They have no desire to stop engaging in what is conspiring to murder someone, conspiring to permanently kidnap someone, stalking and targeting them for no reason, while you are a whole closeted psychopath, sex offending stalker because you're demon possessed. And that condition is also demonstrated through your behavior in the specific environment. You're going to be prosecuted for all of that. So the entity is engaging in what is Title 18 criminal activity, while I am capturing the specific environment, while I'm showing the entity pacing. This is not traffic, it's pacing because the light source remains over the same intersection. And this is what I am capturing as I begin getting this so that you can see it. And I am juxtaposing it with the maintenance of the fake sun over the same environment at what is 6 in the evening. This is the same street. So again, let's get back to, here we go. Out of the same window, this is at 6:40, and the video ends at 6:58 p.m. This is the same intersection, Myrtle, so you can see the sign right here. This is indeed Myrtle. This is the same window that I'm looking out of. Oops, sorry. This is the same window that I'm looking out of, where you can see the light source through the windshield of vehicles at the same exact intersection, which is speaking to the presence of the light source and the maintenance of that light source, which is from 9, let's count the hours, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 hours later. That light source is not moved anywhere while it's still outside of my window, which you can see not through the windshield of a vehicle at the intersection, but through the literal object that you can see outside of the window. Both are evidence of what is the supernatural, not the sun. Okay, this is speaking to the P.O.C. And again, the entity is aware of what I'm capturing on my phone as I capture it. And this is capturing the phenomenon at 9:53 in the morning. That which is ignorantly referred to as the sun is reflecting off of a vehicle at the same exact intersection where I remain inside of the same exact hotel room, which is what was captured yesterday from 6:40 to 6:58 p.m. This same light source is in a position to be seen, and it includes even creating light activity inside of my hotel room, which you can see on the wall while the windows are closed, the blinds are closed, and even then as I open it, and you can see this is supposed to be sun. It's not sunlight. In the same way that this is not the sun that is still at the venue 9 hours from now. That's not the sun either, nor is that sunlight. You also know that because of the engineered light, the flashing light, the multiple shot, everything you've seen in Alvarado Gardens, you've seen on the walls of the DMV while the people of the state drive by, you've seen in the staircase of this hotel on the ceilings while the people of the state are driving by and walking all around and maintaining presence in the hotel rooms while they are present. Don't forget about the air traffic. Planes and helicopters is very integral aspect of the pacing conduct by the state, stalking in planes and helicopters. And they're doing so all in this environment. And so the demons, with simultaneity to what I'm capturing, begin pacing. This is terrorism, and it's also harassment as an entity that is engaged in Title 18 criminal activity. And so I want you to see the face of the demons who are engaging in the pacing. They're pacing in the hallway. This demon goes from the room 415 to the room, I believe this is 418, directly above, excuse me, that would be room 416. He goes from 415 to 416. That's what he's doing while he's going into the doorway for room 416. That's what this is, and he's doing so, creating audible activity, a demon that knows what I'm documenting. As soon as I capture a screenshot, the door begins slamming. That's stalking with audible activity. It's also the hostility, the communication of a threat. It's analogous to the entity sounding helicopter activity as I capture a picture of the people of state, or as I document podcast conduct. Hostile demons that are monitoring the evidence, engage in the elements of monitoring more so. Okay, and this is what the entity is doing while he's also pacing. He's going from room 415 on this side to 415 on this side. These demons are pacing together in the hallways because that's what she was doing as well, coming in and out of her room. And this demon is creating noise while it's extraordinarily loud audible activity, while hotel doors are used as a means of audible activity, which is amplified. Sorry, I don't mean to keep going to my camera in real time. This is what they're doing, pacing back and forth while I'm capturing screenshots, all of which they are aware of. And remember, these are just the demons that are inside of the building pacing. This, what you see outside in traffic, this is all pacing. This is pacing 24 hours a day. This is what they're doing in the hotels as well. And these are the demons who are pacing inside of the rooms of 415 and 416 in particular. These are the demons who also engaged in harassment, having the audacity to have the people of the state who are employees who are going to federal prison here calling me, complaining about the television. I want to be clear, this is the conduct of Satan that is engaged. First of all, it's not creating any narrative such that the walls are so thin that you can hear the TV. Everything is amplified in volume. And let me be clear. The entity's demonic pattern of conduct of amplification is also occurring in facilities where this entity kidnapped me. And so you have solid concrete brick, well, not brick, it's solid concrete walls, metal and concrete walls, and solid metal doors. And the entity engaged in amplifying audible activity. In other words, hearing the people of the state talking while they are in other areas of the jail facility, meaning not even in the same area. This is how you're able to understand and recognize the demonic features. Nothing that you are talking about. In other words, I'm not going to state being in jail. I believe the demons would engage in, we're so close to each other and everything is so thin. We can talk to each other through the air conditioning vents, and you can hear my all of my conversation with my inmate. You can hear me use the bathroom. You can hear me peeing, okay, while I am above you in the jail, and you can hear that through what must be the entity what must be. I'm just going to surmise they're engaging conduct. Oh, you can hear that through the vents in the jail. I'm speaking specifically West Valley Detention Center. That's amplification. The entity engages in the conduct such that the entity is amplifying the sound of their audible activity, no matter how thick and solid and metal concrete the facility is. The entity is engaging in amplification. Okay, and there is, even if you are able to engage in what you would need to be yelling in order to maintain a conversation where you are at this level of volume talking to your inmate inside of the jail, and I'm in the cell underneath you and you're above me and I'm hearing your whole conversation. It's audible activity. It's also the ways in which the demons that were group stalking in the jail with the demon possessed deputies, while the fake sun was over that jail, while the demons were pacing all around with multiple shadows, while the demons were calling themselves mental health workers, and they were group stalking and engineer light inside of that jail. So I just want to give you an extreme example. And while the entity engaged in what is a documented act of harassment, which is what I was referencing when I'm speaking to Ethan, I'm putting that on the record. First of all, it's amplification. Second of all, the demon possessed that listen to me point out every aspect of their P.O.C. will fail, but they engage in an ongoing effort. Okay, they engage in an ongoing effort. Oh, well, your neighbor can hear your television. Do you mind turning it down? And I'm not saying that he was mean or anything. It's not about how you say something polite. It's the fact that you're saying anything and it's monitoring me. You're threatening my life. Second of all, it is speaking to what is under no circumstances any rebuttal regarding amplification. No one's also going to forget where you have the fake sun, everything else within the POC is present. When you have the engineer light, everything else within the POC is present. This is just applying logic. In it also, you're speaking to what are not paper thin walls, what is not my mattress at the intersection of Myrtle and Huntington, and you cannot create any vibration of my hotel room when both you're walking on the floors and also when you're driving in traffic on Myrtle or Huntington. This is a sensational and amplified activity. It's demonic. It's entirely demonic. So the entity engages in what is a documented act of harassment. It's harassment while the entity is, first of all, monitoring. It's second of all, engaging, asking me to turn down my volume when they're monitoring and harassing all day long with loud volume while they're group stalking, because they're a bunch of defeated and hostile minions, and they know every word that I'm publishing about their criminal activity. That's harassment, and it's on the record, and that's why I referenced it. These are not paper thin walls such that you can hear the reality. This is not what they're engaging. But the reality is that these are not paper thin walls such that they are building hotels so that you are having conversations and you're playing the television and it's disrupting the person that's paying $200-$300 for the room next door to you. That's not how this is built, and that's not how hotels run. And this is not some rundown motel in downtown San Bernardino. That's not what this is. But this is how they're assuming that's what it is. Yes, you can. You can hear the traffic. You can hear it, and it will vibrate your window. And you can hear when they close and open their doors, it's going to vibrate your hotel. This is what the demons are engaging in, and they rely on this in the same way that they are relying on the fact that there is no pattern with regard. Nobody notices the ongoing heavy helicopter activity. Nobody notices that light is ricocheting all over buildings and somehow shooting off of your. Nobody notices that either. Nobody notices the entity that is engaging in what is group stalking under a fake sun that's over you for 13 hours all day long. Nobody notices that. Nobody. And that has nothing to do with how you're going to prosecute Satan. Is not based on what Satan wants to present as realistic or unrealistic, because those are based on facts. This is what the entity relies on: gang conduct, group thought, group think. Okay. The inability to exercise independent thought is how you became demon possessed in the first place, following people, engaging in what your conscience would tell you. Unless your conscience is so seared at this point, you lack the ability to differentiate between right and wrong, demonic versus natural. Okay. But the entity is engaging in conduct, the inability to exercise independent thought. They project that onto the prosecution of federal group stalking and monitoring. That is not how it operates. It's not because all the demons want to act like you can hear the television through the walls that it's not amplification. That's not how the prosecution's going. This is the mind state of the demon possessed. They don't exercise independent thought. They're relying on group conduct. If everybody says that the target individual is a rapist, the target individual will be a rapist. They'll create the narrative, the information to make you a rapist. They do the same thing with regard to my prosecution of their criminal conduct, their demonic features of the system. And so, can you turn down your television because the minion that's not sleeping in relevant position, that's pacing in the hallway, mindful, and with simultaneity to my taking screenshots of a fake sun that's at this same intersection 9 hours from now, is pacing in the hallway, and they were not asleep. That was documentation, by the way, while I was uploading. Really what it was, I was uploading evidence onto YouTube. And so they used the method of activity creation, calling my room and making it was polite, but I'm not prosecuting you. You're not threatening my life because you nicely create audible activity. You're threatening my life because you're monitoring me with the state, and you're acting with regard to that conspiracy to murder and or permanently kidnap. And by the way, the entity typically does that in a nice way. It's supposed to appear in plain sight. They're not supposed to act like they are wannabe Secret Service agents, and they're not. None of the demon possessed are cut out for that sort of duty, by the way. It's highly unintelligent and unsophisticated. They're cockroaches in the spirit. They are freaks of nature that are pacing all around, and they don't want you to know that they're doing that. Very mentally ill. Okay. And woefully, as far as intellectually speaking, woefully unprepared. Okay. They rely on group conduct. They need everybody else to. So that's supposed to suggest that you can hear the television. This is common sense. This is not how you build hotels. This is not how you conduct a business. You're not charging this money because everything that you're saying and doing is going to disrupt everybody else in the hotel. That's not a rebuttal regarding amplification. And by the way, amplification as the built-in demonic feature of federal group stalking and monitoring is already established. So it reasonably follows that that's exactly what's going on here. It's a matter of recognizing how it's happening, and it's not based on what looks realistic. That's not what amplification is. You've seen amplification when I'm in the parking lot of TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott, and at a great distance over the mountains, the black helicopter is somehow heard when I'm in the parking lot. While you're looking at the supernatural, this same parking lot where the fake sun is present at 6 p.m. and it's in a perfect alignment with me, and engineer lights inside of this hotel on the wall above my head, and they're all driving in the engineer light on the asphalt. That's how you're recognizing amplification, based on the ability to hear what is impossible, based on you can clearly see the distance. It's impossible that I can hear that. That's within the amplification. That's the P.O.C. And also it's occurring within this the P.O.C. of the stalking with the light source. Where that's present, everything else within the system is present. Period. This is the entity that's thinking into its own demise. This is, again, I'm dragging Satan because of what it sought to engage in. Again, and this is what they're doing to people, and they're doing it to people that can't represent themselves. They can't speak for themselves. They don't even know what they're subject to. And that type of bullying conduct, and you're not even sophisticated, or it's not even intelligent when you do so, it's something that really does infuriate me. If you can't tell by the tone of my voice, it infuriates me. You're not even what you want to be. You're not above anyone. You're not, this is not elite. This is not intricate. The federal government's going to see right through this, and so will everyone else. It's just demonic. It's just wicked. And they rely on group conduct. In the same way, in order to defame you, in order to falsely depict you as a criminal or whatnot. And it's the same thing with amplification. So because you state that you can hear my television at 3 o'clock in the morning when no demon is sleeping, if I'm awake, all the demons are awake. And when I wake up, all the demons are aware of that also. But it's also such that just because you state that, because you're aware, that's what Satan knows that I'm documenting it, that's not suggesting that it's no less amplification, which is already built into your documented pattern of conduct. The entity relies on group conduct, and the whole group is inept, okay? Remember, the group that wants to present it, the whole group is inept. So the entity is engaging in this conduct, and this is a demon. These are demons who are pacing back and forth while I'm capturing screenshots of the supernatural. The same intersection, again, at 9:53 in the morning. You're looking at the light source, and it's the ability to recognize it through the reflection of a vehicle. Let me get it again so you can see it. And as I capture the screenshots, hold on. Where is the vehicle at? Because it's over all of them, and you could see it on the vehicles, but I wanted to get a vehicle with a windshield, because there was a white van that drove by. You could clearly see the light source. But as I document Satan, and Satan is aware, oh yeah, you could. It's like Satan is literally slow. Satan is literally slow. As I point things out, then Satan catches on, and it's really pathetic. Satan catches on, and then. But you'll even see that in the documentation. You'll see how the directed light, it transforms after time, after I critiqued it to death and showed you all the ways in which it doesn't even make sense on its face. Okay, let alone the fact that this isn't rocket science, and this is under no circumstances the natural environment. Okay, but then you'll recognize the pattern of that engineer light, which is not even sunlight. It's totally deviated from what it was originally doing, which is not. It's not even sunlight in the first place. It's not even naturally occurring. It is recognizing the presence of Satan and the knowledge that the demon possessed surround you, and they're monitoring you. Okay, you will recognize that. And this is what Satan is at literally, but it doesn't matter, because that's showing you the stalker that is. Satan is stalking me. Satan is also following. Satan is literally a follower. Satan doesn't have an original thought. Satan can't create it. He's not above. He is literally the tail. Literally. Scripture says I am the head and not that's the truth. And it is literally being demonstrated as I'm prosecuting the entity that is demon possessed. So the entity is keeping the lights, so you can see it through the vehicle windshields. As I'm capturing this, and let me see if I have it for you to look at. As I began capturing screenshots, the door slamming. Okay, so I captured this screenshot at 9:55 a.m. I'm hearing boom, boom, boom. Immediately, I walk out the front door, and I begin capturing images of who's pacing around. Yeah, same time, okay? Seconds difference, because I immediately go to my front door and open it. This is what this demon is doing. They're pacing. So he goes from the room next to me, 415, and he's pacing. And so is this demon down the hall. So is she, okay? Nothing that I'm doing. I'm not yelling. I just opened my door. What's causing her attention to look my way? I don't know. But if I was walking tomorrow, I wouldn't necessarily be. But I just want to be clear. Just common sense. This is a demon that's focused on me. But just under common sense analysis, you have what is when she's walking in her room, supposedly minding her business. She's all the way at the end of the hall, but she's looking at me. I just want to be clear. She's crossing path, and they're pacing together. They're pacing together, and they engage in this as I'm capturing screenshots. This picture, as I go to my front door, takes me a couple seconds. I'm quick on my feet though, 9:55 and 18 seconds, 9:55 and 35 seconds. I walk right to my front door. These demons are pacing and slamming the doors. He's going from room 415 to room 416, and that's what they're doing. He goes in, I'm capturing images, and they're walking back out, going back into this room, and then I'm capturing group stalking by an employee, and he's just happens to be walking down the hall. He's group stalking together with the patrons. Okay, and they're doing the same thing with the housekeepers. And I believe that's his function, his office. It's not actually an office, but I believe that's his function as an employee. I believe he's within housekeeping. He's walking through the halls group stalking. All right, and so I just wanted to document that. I want you to see that. The entity is keeping a fake sun, which is, again, the purpose of what I captured screenshots of. This is the light source that is at the same intersection. This is Myrtle and Huntington. This is captured at, as I stated, 9:53 in the morning at the top. You can see the evidence of that which would be ordinarily described as the sun. We are not speaking of the sun, which is in reference to the natural environment, because at the same intersection out of the same window at 6:40 p.m., here is the so-called sun. That is a duration of time analysis from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 hours later. That's not the natural environment. This is context regarding what this is. These are demons who are pacing. These are demons who are pacing. And so are they inside of this hotel while they're engaging in Title 18 criminal conduct. This is what they're doing in the room above me, 517. This is what they're doing in the rooms around me, 415, as you see pacing into room 416, and doing so in the room on the opposite side, which I believe is 418. On my left and right is room 415 and 418. Above me is 517, and right in front of me is 418. All right, so that would be 417, 418. Oh, 419. So on my left and right is room 415 and 419. Right up in front of my room is 418, where you saw the people of the state utilizing minor children to group stalk in a private space, where they commit sex offenses with minor children. Okay, so the entity is engaging in group stalking with the people of the state. This is routine as a whole family coming and engaging in state surveillance. That's how America practices criminal surveillance maliciously. All right. And that's Satan, too, wants to put a smiley face and glitter and shiny veneer over what is depraved and sick and very disturbing criminal and corrupt activity. That's Satan. That's how Satan operates. Okay. So the entity is doing so with knowledge. That's Title 18 conduct and demonic pacing while they are slamming doors. That's audible activity creation. And they're the demons that are, just as a relevant context, these are the demons that are today group stalking in a hotel room. This is an Asian male and female pacing while they're engaging in audible activity creation, which is ongoing sex offense, while Title 18 conduct is underway inside of a private space. So I just wanted to give that context. I just needed to show you that while the entity is maintaining a specific environment, and this and amongst this phenomenon, the entity is engaging in conduct such that you're hearing the amplified audible activity of demons who are stalking. Not the realistic ability to hear traffic from the fort. These are demons. They're stalking under a fake sun, and they've provided direct evidence of the fact that they're stalking under a fake sun while you heard audible activity under all circumstances. But it's beyond that, and traffic is not going to pierce into the walls of a hotel room on the 4th floor, disrupting your stay. Heard while you're washing your genitalia in the shower, while you're in the depths of the bathroom. This is a very well-built structure. And the blueprint would establish that. The management company that built it would contend that. I guarantee you they're not going to say, oh, it's pretty flimsy. Even to try to defend the audible activity creation. There's no defending it. It's the specific environment, period. But there are ways that common sense ways, you can break this whole demonic conduct down. Okay, so I just wanted to document that, and it is currently 10:25 a.m. and it is again Monday, July 29, 2024. Like I said, the entire venue is filled with, at this hotel, it's filled with defendants. Defendants that are working at the venue and defendants that are providing evidence of their criminal engagement in state surveillance, which is a very serious act of terrorism. And you have terrorists that are providing the evidence against themselves, and they're going to be prosecuted severely for the ongoing conspiracy to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense, which is an exceedingly violent sex offense. And they do it with impunity. They do it with malice. They do it while they know they're sexually offending and stalking someone that is defending their rights and documenting it. Their mental illness dictates such that they engage in more of that psychotic pattern of conduct, which is what you see the demon-possessed patrons inside of room 415 and 416 demonstrating, pacing. All right, this is P.O.C.